mark.
Cool.
So there we go. Yeah.
Okay.
So what's going on, man?
That's our
It's our
after holiday break.
Yeah, it's our first episode for the new year. Let's 2014 be awesome this year.
Sure.
Could use an awesome 2014.
But just this year, 2014.
Just this year. Yeah.
2014 only awesome this year. Last year, 2014, it's terrible.
Yeah. Okay.
You're nonsense. You're saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That makes no sense. You're crazy.
No. Yep.
So.
So
how's
saying?
things?
I'm doing good. We're doing good.
Mm-hmm.
We managed to avoid getting sick. We got sick earlier in the year, so we're just efficient.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, do it up front.
Get it all out of the way.
Yep.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, a lot of people have been getting sick. Like our Christmas was, we had to cancel part of it because everyone was sick and we couldn't have. Certain people couldn't get exposed, and it was just, this thing's been lingering for a while. So, and but we're all over it. Everything's better, and now I'm just trying to get in the swing of the new year. I find the first week, this is the first full week back for a lot of people, and everyone's playing catch up. And, nobody knows what to do, and you get a couple of rush orders, and oh crap, we need to get this done, and then other times you don't hear back from people, or
Yeah,
it's typical, right?
When I dealt with clients, that was a thing, but I don't do that.
not anymore.
I don't know. I'll probably have to again at some point, but
Yeah. Well,
right now I don't. So
yeah. Well, enjoy it.
I'll be glad of that.
Yeah. So what I find when the new year comes, you start evaluating last year. What worked, what didn't work, what can you do for this year, and already I'm going through the portfolio all over again, and deciding what stays, what goes, what am I allowed to show that I wasn't able to show from last year, and stuff like that. From a business perspective, you always got to keep updating things and stay current. I just found out a product that I worked on last spring just got released, and I was looking at it. I'm like, God, that's so old. It sucks when you can't show work, and then when you do, the time you're able to show it, it's not your best work anymore, right?
Yeah, this is exactly what's happened to me over and over, why I have nothing in my portfolio ever, because it's always either that or else it's something that belonged to someone else, and then it was like, well, that's they have all the stuff, and I guess I could show it, which I have in the past, and it's never been an issue, but you never know who's going to be like, hey, we weren't done with whatever version of whatever.
Yeah, you almost always want to ask anyways, just to get
right.
Just to clarify. I always try to run that by a client, even if it's way after the fact. Most of the time they're surprised that and appreciative, but surprised. I don't know, I always get, it seems like whenever I hear stories back from clients about some of other artists, they're always kind of not flattering. It makes me wonder. I'm like, wow, are the guys in my trade like completely, just jerks or what? Because I keep hearing backstories. This guy didn't do this, or oh, you're actually asking me for permission to post your work up, and just communicating effectively doesn't seem to be the order of the day in a lot of cases. So
unwashed hippies, right?
Yeah, I guess so, right? Maybe that's what we all are.
Yep.
But I try to communicate effectively and often, and that way everyone's informed. Especially now, where everyone's so damn litigious, you need to talk to people and make sure. Okay, is the product live? Okay, great. Can I post it? Or what if I want to do an art book? I gotta make sure I got permission to put the work out there, right?
Right. And, and then you get into, like all of any of the design stuff that I've done for the past, I don't know, 10 years, I guess. All for always for signs and stuff. It was always somebody else's logo, or incorporated someone else's logo. But you do all the design work around it, and then you're like, well, okay, what can I use? Like, you know, because obviously I can't claim ownership of this UPS or whatever it is. But there's, you know, there was all this other work that went into it. And
yeah. It sucks. I don't know. I mean, I got a whole body of work. I was looking at my portfolio today and thinking, okay, what am I going to get rid of? What am I going to keep? And I have a whole bunch of storyboard work that I don't know if will ever see the light of day.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, you can't help but go, oh, that's too bad. You know, and everything that I do have is out of date. So what do? Do you you know, like, you want to show your best work, but you obviously can't. So now I'm forced with, well, if I want to show people what I can do with storyboards, I'm going to have to do a whole new batch of stuff just on my own.
Yep.
You know, at least, you know, or until I hear from the client that I can use it. But my understanding, as long as that client, like the client that my client worked for, is, you know, as long as that person is still or that company is still a client of theirs, then my work stays obscured forever. So.
Just bury it.
Yeah.
Just go bury it in the yard.
Just bury it.
Yeah.
Move on.
Someday, someone will find it.
Yeah.
And then you'll be famous.
Yeah, right. No, it'll probably be one of the cases when I finally am able to show it, it'll be, you know, completely obsolete. Oh, this is crap. I don't want to show it now.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah.
Oh well. Fun conversation today.
let's start it dour.
Yeah.
And we'll just bring it down from there.
Yeah, this is what it's really like to be a working professional artist. You deal with bullshit all the time, and I think it's like that with anybody.
Oh yeah, professional working, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna deal with BS, and you're gonna like it.
Yep. This job would be great if it wasn't for the clients.
Yeah.
One of those.
Yeah. Oh well, that's why I'm trying to work on this thing here. I want to get it done, and it's been dragging on for too long. So I just want to finish it, and I want to have it ready for so I can show it off at Comic-Con.
Oh, right on.
So we'll see. Again, I get a lot of paperwork ready for that, and they're doing a thing now where they're asking people to if they want to come up with their own programming content. So if you want to do a lecture on, you know, how to be more like Owen, you know, you just put in a request and they'll process it and see if that's what they want to do.
I should do that.
Yeah, it should be like, you know, everyone needs to be a little more like me.
I'll have 7 people.
Well, it's funny because I was just at a party last weekend, and I was talking to some of the guys, and they're all, you know, gamers, and, you know, they go to Comic-Cons and that sort of thing. And, you know, we were talking about what works and what doesn't work at the Comic-Con, and, you know, it's changed so much since its very first show, right? And you know, a lot of people like these guys, you know, they were going to it and they were volunteering when it was, you know, in its infancy, and now they don't like it. They don't want to keep going. They don't, you know, it's changed. It's not really for them anymore. You know, the programming has changed, and it's become, you know,
how so?
Well, less about gaming. You know, there's like they all do games, right? Like RPGs and sort of tabletop miniatures and whatnot.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right. And they used to have a gaming table and a gaming section, and they took it away, right? And
that seems odd.
Yeah, what they did is they moved it to the Big Four.
Oh, right.
Right. So it's technically still there, but it's in another building altogether.
Right.
You know? And then, you know, the way they have how much of a gong show it is with just, you know, getting in and out of the show, you know, these guys, it's not worth their while to come back, you know, to buy a ticket and go back and forth. And, you know, it's just, it's a crummy deal, right? And, you know, I can't blame them. it sucks, and you can tell the people at the show.
Well, you can. Hello?
Yeah, they don't really. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Ah!
Owen, did you drop me?
Oh, you turned into a Cylon for a second.
That's weird. Sounds fine on my end.
Or you're still a little grumbly.
Oh, well. Anyways, yeah, that's what we talked about. But it's grown so corporate now too, where they've got booths for the Bank of Montreal and stuff like that. Frank's Red Hot, which really, what does that have to do with Comic-Con? So
Frank's Red Hot.
Yeah,
That's
it's hard. Yeah,
I didn't even notice that there.
Yeah, they have a booth there. They've had one for the last couple of years actually, and so it makes you wonder. Well, what does this have to do with the Comic-Con, and how are we? How's that going to improve sales or attract sales? Or I know for us, it really impacted sales because it eliminated the walk-in. We've had a lot less for walk-in traffic because it's all pre-bought tickets.
Right.
That changed. That really changed things when it came to sales for this year. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes this year coming up. But I'm sort of losing my train of thought. I'm not quite. I'm not making enough sense to myself. I missed a point. But anyways, when it comes to programming, it all sucks at the show. Every time I've gone to something, it's been really crappy. Or something's been wrong. Like, I went to the Mike Mignola one a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to hear what the guy had to say, and just
Right.
And they had, first of all, they didn't organize it. It was organized quite poorly, and then second, going on next door was a comedy improv thing.
Oh, right.
So they were so loud that you couldn't even hear him talk, and you couldn't hear the questions being asked, and you couldn't hear anything. So it kind of defeated the purpose of even going, because what's the point if you can't even hear the guy and understand what he's going to say? And I think you were with me one year, and we went to a demo, an artist demo.
Right. Yeah.
And did you come to the one where it was the wildlife artist?
Yeah.
Was that the one?
Yeah. And he was talking about going to zoos and whatnot, and then had no.
Yeah, they didn't
had
give him any
nothing.
material to work
And
with.
then we had to make a sketchboard out of a piece of cardboard or something.
It was a big sheet of foam core, and then you had a pen that didn't work on it, and it was just a total. Well, come on, guys, show some. And he's just, I think a little frustrated.
Yeah,
I've been to other ones too, in the same vein, where it's a professional who's come to give a talk, and he's got no materials to work with, so he can't show us anything, and all he can do is just sit there and talk awkwardly for an hour or so until, okay, the lecture's over. Thanks for coming. Please buy my book, right?
Yeah.
And so I've just found that's sort of the way it's been at the show. So they ask if you want to do anything, they'll consider it. But I'm not really. I'm not going to. But I was going to suggest, if they did an artist panel,
Mm-hmm.
like if they had, because they don't have anything for working artists and showing. Okay, these are artists talking about working the business, right? I know I sat in on one where they had those guys from Zensoft, and this is the gaming industry people,
Right.
but they really weren't. They weren't anybody who was really working in gaming,
Yeah, well, they're developing, but they're not.
Yeah, they didn't really have
Hadn't anything shipped at that point. They'd been contractors and whatnot. Sure.
Yeah, so there wasn't any action really, and I didn't learn a thing, and it was kind of a waste of my time. So, I would think there's a lot of people trying to make a go as an illustrator or anything, a creative professional, and there's really no information for them, I find. So I think it would be valuable content, but I'm not going to go and program it and try to get artists to come down and organize the whole thing.
Right.
I don't have time for that.
And then to tell people I don't have time for this. I have work to do.
Yeah. I don't have time for this.
This
isn't really.
You just walk in, say that, and walk out.
I should almost do that. That'd be funny.
And that's,
hey, this is great. I'm a working professional, and I don't have time for this.
And that's how you do it.
Yeah. Come buy my booth and buy my stuff.
book. Buy these games.
Yeah, buy these games. Tell them you like me. Buy more stuff. Right. But they were talking about guys like, I guess, Bruce Timm one of the guys. The reason they got him at the Comic-Con the first couple of years is because one of these guys knew his wife.
Mm-hmm.
He was volunteer. He knows the organizers, right? And they all have this. There's a lot of they didn't have a lot of nice things to say about him. And
About Bruce Timm?
Yeah, and I've heard that before.
Really?
Yeah, there's sort of rumors, the internet rumblings, and you always think, it's just people being jerks, or just, I don't know, who am I to judge anybody, right? But apparently he's not a friendly guy.
I don't know. Was it? See, now
According
I
to these
forget.
guys.
I'm trying to remember if it was him that I sat beside, or was it?
Was he a chain-smoking blonde man from California?
I didn't ask him. I should have.
Oh, if he was, yeah. Was he blonde?
No,
tall
no.
and
So that
skinny?
no, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was. Then it must have been what's his name, the writer.
Oh,
on,
Altieri
Nope.
For Batman.
For the cartoon.
Yeah, it was like Kevin Altieri and Paul Dini.
Paul Dini was.
Yeah.
I think was Paul Dini there one year.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, because then that was who I was sitting beside. Because
Okay.
I was sitting beside somebody, and during a thing for voice actors.
Right.
And I'm watching, it's entertaining, this guy's pretty funny, and he's talking, blah, 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 and, saying about being a voice actor and doing all these different things. And and this guy's sitting beside me, and, older, and so I kind of like, geez, like, not fully realizing myself that I'm also older guy sitting back there, but so that's probably why he sat beside me. Well, I go sit beside the old fart, and then, he's sitting there for a while, and then he leans over and asks me, who is this guy?
Mm-hmm.
And it was. I think I read his badge or something at that point. Didn't know what he would look like, but I read his badge and was like, I don't know, but
I know who you are.
Shouldn't you know? Like, isn't this your job? But I guess that isn't really his job. That's casting's job. His job's to write the words.
Yeah.
But I remember that being kind of weird, and that nobody was accosting him. Like, it was like nobody knew who he was. It might as well have been me sitting there.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Probably Probably likes it that way.
Oh yeah. Why not? Sure.
Yeah.
Like.
Well, how does it work now? Do like the visiting artists and guests? Do they all get bought and paid for? Like they're invited and they don't have to pay for their hotel room and flights and things, or is it? Like, do you know anything about that? Like,
Not
how
a
it works
clue.
for those guys?
Not a clue.
Because I would think the guys like when they get Nathan Fillion or Peter Dinklage and those types of guys, they don't have to pay anything.
They must pay for them to come. Yeah.
And I think they get a money guarantee, like they're going to make X amount of money, and if they don't, the Comic-Con will pay them.
Yep.
Right.
I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Like, they got to get paid for these appearances. Like, otherwise, why would you be doing it? Like, other than, you could say, well, it's the love of the whatever, but, you could do that yourself. Like, you could just, like, where's Peter Dinklage lives in New York or something, you could just wander down the street and be like, hello, how's it going?
Yeah, I'm Peter Dinklage.
It's not like you're not going to recognize him, right? So he could just be, he could do that on his own, so they must be paying him.
Yeah, I know they are. I'm just saying, I think they pay big bucks to these guys to get them to come down, show their stuff. At least that's what I'm thinking is the plan.
Yeah. So that's your plan?
What, to get invited?
Yeah.
Yeah, invite me.
Keep going and be like, well, you pay me to have a booth.
Yeah, well, eventually, that's the plan.
Yeah, I don't.
That would be that'd be nice. Have someone cover my expenses. And I don't think when those guys who do come down, like who are all in the artists in the back area there, they none of them really have a booth. They just have sort of a spot, right?
Yeah, I don't think they get paid to come down. They get invited, but I don't think they get paid to come down.
Well, I think guys like Adam Hughes get paid to come down.
Think so?
Well, I don't think he pays for his flight or his hotel or anything.
Maybe not.
You know, like guys like that, I don't think pay.
Hmm.
You know, to come to Calgary. You know, and I think going to say San Diego Comic Con, I don't know how that is there, right? Like maybe they get paid, or you know, is it like that's turned into such an entertainment expo? It's not really about the comic books anymore, right? It's about all the other geekness that goes on. So I don't know if they, if guys like Marvel says, well, you know, why would we pay to have our artists come all the way down when we don't need them, right? Or maybe, you know, it's to their advantage to like, hey, we got our artist here today, check it out. I don't know. I would think smaller publishers, it would work to their advantage to attract people, but bigger guys probably couldn't care less.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, you would think any marketing's a good idea, but
yeah,
that's, you know, they probably have it all the beans counted and figured this is the optimal, you know, you will be at this one, you will not be at this one, you'll show up for this, and
well, I wonder if they've got it worked into their contracts, or you know, you have to show up at certain things, and you know, I know they can make a killing just doing commissions, you know, some of them can. So remember that one year Cary Nord was there, and you know, they were some guy tracked down Nate. Like apparently he talked to enough people that someone's like Cary Nord wasn't there, or he missed him, or I don't know, whatever. And this guy is like some huge fan that flew in from somewhere to get him to do some commissions, right? And someone told him that this guy Nate knows him, so. And
really?
He found Nate, and Nate's just got a spot in Artist Alley, right? And this guy tracks him down, finds him, and you know, he tries to get Cary's home phone number, and I guess he you know, he talked him into doing a whole bunch of commissions for him. So I don't, you know, this guy he made it worth Cary's while to do the work, but yeah, just the way he tracked down Nate, and
it's kind of weird.
You know, it's kind of funny because you know, Nate's an aspiring artist himself, and then. This guy's like, oh yeah, you know, hi, how are you? You know, and he's like, oh, you know, maybe a customer, and he's like, yeah. So I hear you know Cary Nord.
It's like, oh,
oh,
you know, I draw too. I can draw.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see. You know, it's just kind of poor Nate. You know, didn't you know, and he was cool. I don't think it bothered him really at all, but it's kind of funny the way it all played out.
Yeah,
and,
yeah. You'd have to be like, well. Do you plan to murder him? Because if that's the case.
Wait a minute. I don't know if he wants me to just give his phone number out to just any old buddy. Right?
Yeah, that'd be a little odd.
Yeah, so, oh well. That's the joy of
But if, you know, if the guy's asking you to do some work, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if he's
nothing wrong
paying,
with that.
you know, can't complain with some money in the pocket, right? I haven't seen any of Cary Nord's work in a while. I don't know a clue what he's working on.
I haven't either, actually. I'm so out of comics, almost entirely. Like I
kind of came to a realization they're just like soap operas, and nothing ever really changes.
Well, yeah, depending, like different. If you're reading, if you're reading superhero ones that aren't kind of a one shot or something, that's yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was at this party, and this one guy told me that now Cyclops has the Phoenix Force. I was like, what? You know? No.
Yeah.
You know, but it's almost like, you know, you get stuck in the music from your era, right? Like stuff you grew up listening to is the music that you kind of like, and you still, you know, get your blood going, right? And it's the same with these old comic books, right? You know, like I still think the 80s X-Men stuff was the shit, right? And that's, to me, that's, you know, golden age X-Men. You know, Storm had a mohawk, and
it was in fact the shit.
Yeah, it was good stuff, right? And you know, the new stuff, it's like,
they should bring back. Oh, I didn't even think of that.
What?
I wonder if Storm's gonna have a mohawk in this upcoming movie.
I thought I saw
that would be kind of
trailer,
awesome.
but I don't think she does.
I should give her a mohawk.
I think she was pregnant during filming, so they had to kind of, you know, work some stuff
That's
out.
even more reason to have a mohawk. Misdirection.
Yeah, don't look at her face.
Yeah,
don't look at her body.
Look at the hair. Well,
look at her hair.
Yeah, but it's Halle Berry.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah. Well, the new one's coming out soon, isn't it?
Yeah, it's this year.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we should
Looks
almost
cool.
put in the header what movies we decide to talk about today.
Yeah,
'Cause,
you're right.
yeah.
I meant to do that before, and then I'm like, I don't know. I don't know first what we talk about, and then second if anybody cares. But you know what? You're right. People probably, it helps if it helps anybody find it. If they're like, I want to look for somebody searching for two dudes talking about X-Men
Yeah.
and Ninja Turtles
Yeah.
and Cary Nord,
Then this is the
and then
blog
they're
for
like,
me.
boom. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. X-Men, Ninja Turtles,
Yeah,
Cary Nord.
that's-
Bam.
that's
My
some
finger-
search engine
Yeah.
optimization right there. I'll
Yeah,
put that
yeah.
in, and we'll have one
Well,
view.
I think that would kind of it just gives a little more description
Yeah.
of what we talk about. You haven't really elaborated in case someone's tuning in right now, but the idea is to put a little bit more information in our script, like our dialogue. You know, this is what we're talking about, or sorry, not our dialogue, the description of this episode.
Mhm.
So then, you know, you can look at it and say, oh, okay, they're talking about this, or they're talking about that. I don't give a damn about that. I'm wasting my time. You know, at least that way you can give people some more information. They can, you know, make a decision as to whether they want to listen to Owen and I jabber on about nonsense, because that's really what we're doing.
Okay.
But yeah, just more.
So in
more
every
information.
description, nonsense.
Nonsense and jabbering.
Yeah.
Done. But yeah, no, I just think it would be. You might come in handy.
Yep, it's a good idea.
And
It's a good idea. I
because
will
we
make
do
it
tend
so.
to talk about certain subjects, and they're fun. Like, I know I listen to the Sidebar guys, and every once in a while they don't have an artist in. They just talk about, we're going to talk about James Cameron movies, and they just, you know, geek out, or they like, we're going to rip apart the Superman movie, and they just go for it, you know. And it you know, they're funny. They're just the way these guys talk, and you know, as a nerd, it's fun. Their knowledge of comic book stuff is, you know, encyclopedic. It really puts me to shame if I was going to get broken up about it. But they're funny guys. They got some good stuff, and it's entertaining to listen to, even if you don't really care about the subject.
Right.
So yeah,
Do they rant a
definitely.
lot? I haven't actually. I think I've listened to one. I don't listen to it regularly. I don't have it in my subscriptions.
yeah, they don't really rant.
two.
They're opinionated, right?
As nerds are.
Yeah, you know, they have their things they like and they don't like. They all have different personalities. So some of the guys, you know, some of them rant more than the others. But yeah, no, it's, I don't know. I don't have any issue with them or the content. To me, it's fine. You know, it's entertainment.
Yeah. Sometimes a good rant's fun, but I find I've soured on the rant as a comedy thing. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I like to once in a while, but it's because it's just negative, right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't get any. There's no nuance to it. It's just negative, and then
Yeah.
if somebody's just constantly negative, I start to tune them out. So
Yeah.
even without, like, they might be interesting, but if they're just constantly negative, I stop listening to what they're saying.
I
And so
can't
it's-
stand the roast.
Which
the roast.
when you
The
watch a
roast?
roast,
Yeah. I can't. To me, that's not funny. You know.
yeah. Well,
Because
once
they're
in a
mean.
while,
Like, sometimes they're just so mean. And
once
to
in
me,
a
that's
while,
not-
it's all right for when it's when it's done not mean but like uncomfortable humor. I like,
Yeah.
but yeah, you're right. When it's mean, or when it feels like, I guess if it is their friend,
Yeah.
it's a totally different vibe. But yeah, sometimes it's like, you don't know this person really, and you're
Yeah. You're mean. You
You're
know,
just
like
being mean.
there's different
You're a
types of
bully.
comedians. Well, you know, I don't like. There's different comedians with different styles and different, you know, and some of them go for shock and awe, and some are more subtle. And it depends on what type of humor you like. You know, I find the roast is a little more lowbrow. In the way they talk to people, some of the things they say and do in a roast, it's really cruel. You know, and I don't think it's entertaining. you know, and I don't want to support it. You know, I haven't found any that really. I haven't listened to a roast or seen a roast that I was like, wow, that's pretty funny. You know, it's mostly like, oh, those guys are dicks. That's not nice at all. You know, but I digress. I guess that's me. Maybe I'm too nice. Screw the roast. As I'm painting Arnold, I should have done it in the Arnold accent. Screw the roast.
You should do everything in an Arnold accent.
Yeah, that would be cool.
From here on
But
out.
speaking of movies, I watched the Avengers again last night.
Right on.
And I haven't seen that in a while. That movie's awesome.
I was watching a little bit of that to test the monitor downstairs, yeah.
Okay.
Just, I don't know.
And?
The monitor works.
Okay.
It is fully Avengers rated. It can
Okay.
play Avengers movies, probably this one and the next one.
Okay.
So I future-proofed the monitor for Avengers watching.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I watched it and it was fun, but you know that whole scene where the Hulk takes out Loki is just classic. That's perfect. You know, and I haven't seen it in a long time, so it was kind of a surprise to me again. You're like, oh, there he goes, he does it. That's awesome. Good job, Hulk. You know, and they played the Hulk more up. I mean, he's a character. They've made 3 movies out of him, but you know, you would think. You know, I'd like to see more. I guess. You know, everyone loves the Hulk, but there's really not that much to the Hulk itself. It's all about Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
And you know, I thought Garofalo did a good job playing Bruce Banner. And you know, I don't know. I thought it was a great movie, or you know, I enjoyed it quite a bit. Like, what did you think?
What, Avengers?
Yeah.
I love it. I loved it. Yeah. I thought it was fantastic. And one of my favorite parts about it, which oddly, I don't know. I guess everybody has their own opinions about everything, always. But I really liked Black Widow in it.
Okay.
Because she is the only way to make her work in that is she has to be the hardest of all of them. Like,
Really?
This is my take. That
Why?
because she's the only one who can't hang with the rest of them physically, right?
Right.
So she has to be the stronger mentally.
Uh-huh.
And then they went through and did exactly that in the movie. Like, they showed her being the you know, not really the brains, like not the tactician, but being the being the spy, being the manipulator, knowing how to get to where they needed to be, you know, and knowing when to fight sideways, like come at the fight sideways, not head on. And I thought that it was really well done. And then, you know, thought that, not having heard anyone else's opinion, then immediately heard everybody like, yeah, she didn't do anything. She just stood around. And it's like,
Not really.
well,
She's almost the main character.
she kind of has, she has a couple of the main pivotal scenes. And they're like, well, in the end fight, she just goes up on the building.
No, she
And
doesn't.
and
Not really. Yeah.
No, she totally fights for quite a while, and then she goes up on the building because no one else could.
Yeah.
It wasn't because, like, that was, you know, she was, that could have easily been the place, well, that would have been the place where you'd get killed.
Right.
Like, the rest of them could move the fight to what, you know, where they needed it to be. But if she's stuck there, you know, holding the stick,
Yeah.
that's where you're going to get killed. So, you know, she just goes and does it. And I thought that was just well done.
Well, I'm not very familiar with her character. You know, I haven't read any comic books about her. I don't know much about the character.
I don't know that the comic version matches up very much to this version, like, other than being a spy and being tough, you know, mentally tough.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, can definitely hold her own in a fight, so.
Mm-hmm. Well, that scene where the Hulk tries to kill her,
Yeah.
that's, you know, like, she's barely keeping her, like, you can see that she's scared witless, and,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the Hulk's going after him, you know. It's they played the Hulk interesting as this loose cannon, and then all of a sudden he's part of the team, right?
Well, and yeah, and
you know, I never really thought of the Hulk as,
and the whole thing of why, you know, why he's out of control, because he's only out of control when he's scared, but when he's angry, he's fully in control.
Yeah.
But yeah, when he's scared, that's when he loses it. So then they show him, you know, scared and very dangerous. I thought all of that seemed to, you know, that it was like, oh yeah, that's what they're doing in this movie. And then I hear a bunch of people say, oh no, this was bad and this was bad, and well, kind of saw a different movie than I did, I guess.
Yeah. Well, who said it was bad?
Some people.
Like people,
Ignorant
viewers,
people.
or people? Who know?
I don't know.
Huh?
Is it
okay.
Ignorant people? No, there's.
I thought maybe you were gonna like say it was like somebody you knew.
No, I was just like people in podcasts and stuff, and some.
Oh.
That's one of those things where I think people, you know, trying to be negative, right? It's easy to be negative, and harder to look for what's, you know, the good in something.
Yeah.
Except when I'm talking to you, then.
Yeah. It all sucks.
Yeah.
Well, I liked it. It was fun. I was entertained. I was glad I saw it again. You know, Marvel just makes good movies. You know, I know there was some talk about new Superman, Batman movie, and you know, I really could care less. I'm not really too stoked about it. I did read that Bruce Timm's going to be doing Sailor Moon. You know,
really?
He's actually going to be. Yeah, he's going to be doing Sailor Moon.
Like a cartoon or live action?
Yeah, cartoon.
I figured.
Yeah, I thought, wow, that's.
It's kind of a weird.
Yeah, it's
like.
We'll see how that works out. You know, that's kind of cool, though, right? Like, I showed Lily Sailor Moon, and she lost her mind. She's like, "This is awesome." She loves it, and you know, we're watching it for a bit, and then Steph's like, "You know, this is a little too sexualized for, you know, children, for little girls." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I guess you're right." Because it's like that's what it's about. You know, she's like, "Oh, I need my boyfriend." Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
You know, it's just Sailor Moon's kind of this ditz, and you know, Lily loves it though. You know, she gets a little older maybe, but I had to, you know, put the kibosh on Sailor Moon. I want to watch Sailor Moon. Like, it's broken. Sorry.
Yeah. what part of it's broken? You'll have to. Yeah, that'll be the.
I can still get away with that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, she can't read yet, so she can't see that it actually, you know, where it says Sailor Moon. I'm like, no, it's broken.
Yeah.
Too bad. But
when she's 12, you'll be like, well, it was the Ludo narrative, honey.
Yeah.
It was broken. the part where it over.
Go talk to your mother.
Yeah. I can't do this.
Yeah. Well, it brought me back though, because I remember when it was on TV back when I was a teenager, and you know, that's when manga and stuff was really popular. Well, I guess it still is, but when it, you know, really started to take off around here, you know, like you saw it everywhere. It was on YTV, right? And yeah, that's the first. I remember seeing that, and I was like, oh yeah, Sailor Moon, and it was everywhere. It was always on TV at the time. So.
Do you ever watch Samurai Pizza Cats?
Yeah, I remember it. Yeah.
And that was a dumb show.
Oh, I remember just even hearing the intro, Samurai Pizza Cats. I just thinking, oh, well, you remember they had those stupid shows. What was that one about the mummies?
The mummies.
They were like pharaoh mummy creatures. What were they called? Like mummies or. I don't know. It was lame. It was sort of like they're trying to make something to compete with Ninja Turtles. But yeah, it was like mummies, or the show was mummies, and they're like super powered mummies that came to life to fight bad guys. But I don't know. It was on for a while. I honestly can't remember what it was, or much more about it. There was a lot of those, team shows that were all trying to compete with the Ninja Turtles phenomenon at the time.
I don't. Yeah, I remember like Biker Mice from Mars. And,
Biker Mice from Mars.
Yeah. And
Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing Duck. Sure.
Let's get dangerous. Yeah. I was screwing around the internet and I came across a trailer for a movie that's on Kickstarter.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're trying to get it funded through Kickstarter.
Oh, is it this? Okay, you tell your story. I think I know where you're going. But
it's called Kung Fury.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Yes.
Have you seen the trailer? Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
I told Steph, I said, if Kung Fury was a woman, I'd divorce you and marry. And she didn't take that very well. But it's so awesome.
Well, didn't you watch it? And then she'd be like, well, okay,
that's
you got
pretty
a point.
cool. Yeah, she watched it and went, okay, I can see why you like that,
I love it sort of never doesn't hold back on the stupid. Just like Thor drops down in the water. He's giant.
It was Odin.
Oh, it was Odin.
Yeah.
Was it Odin or Thor?
Odin.
Odin.
Yeah. That's what's so good about it though, because it's so that's such a killer visual, right? It just boom drops down and
he just sits there just stone cold on the rocks, yeah. Well, of course Odin's dropping out of the sky.
Or they're riding a Tyrannosaurus Rex with a Valkyrie and machine gun. And just like, yes, I have to see. I think they've got their funding now. So they make a movie or whatever. They're short. I don't know if it's going to be a full 2-hour feature, but it'll be, it's been successful. It's been a successful Kickstarter.
Yeah. Well, and that guy did commercials and stuff before, so he's kind of that's his. Yeah. He was commercial and effects editor for commercials and music videos and that sort of thing. So
okay. So you've done your research. You're all.
Well, I just watched the Kickstarter video. There's a trailer and then there's the video where he's pitching the story and saying, why he can do this, and so he's kind of doing the Neil Blomkamp route where he can kind of do all the parts, but if he does, it's going to take him 17 years. So better to give him a bunch of money and then watch him make something real stupid.
Mm-hmm.
But
it'll
really
probably
good.
do real well. Yeah, it looks funny, and it's just such an homage to all that bad '80s stuff. And I love how he's got the bright red bandana. And, straight out of an old crappy video game, right?
Yeah. I think he's from Sweden.
Oh yeah, they're all from.
He's but he's got the sort of bad Miami American accent.
Yeah.
I'm a cop. Cracks me up.
Why didn't I think of that? That would be such a fun movie to make or be a part of. I would love to be attached to a project like that someday.
Something real stupid.
Something fun like that. Or I also watched Black Dynamite the other day. Have you seen that?
Yeah. I actually haven't seen all of it. I saw part of it.
You haven't seen all of it?
No, it was playing somewhere, and I watched the middle third.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen the start or the end, but the middle third seemed like the adequate amount of stupid for me. So I was like,
no. There's a lot more stupid that you need to get. It's awesome. If you like those old if you're a cinephile, or you like those old exploitation movies, then you gotta watch it. I've seen a lot of those movies from back in the day. I Black Belt Jones, Dolomite. What's the second Dolomite movie? I can't remember. Everyone's seen Shaft.
Yeah. Well, I've seen less of those and more of the kung fu movies, but
Yeah.
equal.
No, Well, I mean, it started with the kung fu movies, and then it just kind of went from there. But I own it. I'll lend it to you. It's awesome.
Well, then I will watch it.
Yeah, it's funny. You can't watch it all the time. But if you watch those old movies, have you ever seen something like I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's fantastic.
Yeah, and it's some of the guys from that movie, were in this, and they even did a a Black Dynamite cartoon on Adult Swim.
Really?
Yeah, you can go
Wow.
check it out on their website. They have some of the skits on there,
I'm
a couple segments.
completely out of the loop.
Yeah, they even have the the people play the characters. So the guy who played Bullhorn in the movies in there, and the star guy, Michael J. White's in it, and Honeybee, and who's the guy who played Cream Corn, and yeah, all those guys, they're all in it. So it's hilarious. So yeah. Anyways, I watched the movie and I had such a good laugh. Every time I watch it, I start walking around the house saying crappy lines from the movie. Like you miss a part in the movie, like you haven't seen the end.
No.
I don't think where you want me to ruin it for you, or
Well, yeah, I'm sure you can't ruin Black Dynamite for anybody.
Okay.
I kind of know what's coming, but yeah, go ahead.
There's just one gag in the end where he comes into the room, and as he gets there, this guy gets hit in the head with a boomerang, and that the villain, he's like, I threw that shit before I even came in the room. He's just got all these bad one-liners, and he just stuff where they, the boom, like in one of the first scenes of the movie, you probably didn't see it, but the boom operator like lowers the boom, and it's actually in the frame, and then, like Black Dynamite's looking at him while he's trying to talk. That stuff's just too funny to me. That they really they went out of their way to emulate the way those movies were done back in the day. Same with did you see the Will Ferrell movie, the Tropic Thunder?
Yes.
No, not Tropic Thunder.
No, Will Ferrell. Yeah.
Not Tropic Thunder. The basketball movie, where the team was called the Flint Tropics. Will Ferrell. Do you remember? Have you seen that movie?
No.
No. Anyways, they do a movie where they it's a comedy, and they recreate the ABA. So it's sort of like a basketball version of Slapshot.
Okay.
And it's pretty funny. It's the same sort of thing, and they recreate all that '70s shtick, and just the same sort of vibe, and they get it. They do a pretty good job. They get a lot of it right, and yeah, it's funny. I mean, it gives you that nostalgia feel. Like every time you watch Slapshot, you can't help but laugh and have a good chuckle, and all those scenes. And what I'm finding funny is now a lot of those movies, like they're doing period pieces for the '80s. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh man, I must be getting old. Like our childhood.
Yeah, we're
now,
like
retro cool.
Yeah, and then you have to tell everybody, you know what? We knew this wasn't cool then.
Yeah, it's sure
this stuff.
Cool now. Yeah.
Like we were dumb enough to do it, but we knew it wasn't cool.
Well, there were some things that just, remember big hair?
Oh,
Girls
yeah.
with big hair and the big hoop earrings.
Big hair, backcombing, neon colors, wearing
Ankle
bandanas as every type of clothes. Just dress yourself in a bandana. 58 bandanas, mixing pants. Yeah.
I always wanted a pair of shoes like Axl from Guns N' Roses.
Just floppy high tops that never seemed to fall off. That guy'd run around on stage and this he hasn't tied up one lace on them high tops.
What the hell's wrong
still,
with you?
I think he glued them to the bottoms of his feet before he ran out.
Maybe, but I always wanted to have that would be so I could just be like Axl from Guns N' Roses and have my floppy high tops.
Floppy high tops, heroin chest.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, but I'd have to have my name emblazoned on the back of my tops. Mike. I guess I can still do that as an adult.
Puffy with a star going across.
Yeah. Or just be as cool as Slash. You never see his face. He's got his hair in his face. Yes, I'm as cool as Slash. Everybody wanted to be as cool as Slash.
Do that for Halloween.
Yeah.
Mike.
Maybe I will. Is that a challenge?
And be like, who are you? Mike.
Yeah.
It says on the jacket.
Yeah.
and then just smash a bottle of Jack Daniels on their porch and keep walking. So you sick man. You have two little girls here. Whatever.
I went to some guy's a friend of Stefan, his birthday party, and it was a retro birthday party. And so all these guys, they're about 2 or 3 years older than me, but it was like an 80s retro thing, right? Or not 80s, like 90s retro. high school kind of thing, right? And I wore my high school football jacket. I dug it out, and it still fit. And this guy whose party it was, he collects old crap from back in the day. Like he had his Calgary '88 Winter Olympics sweater and a bunch of that kind of paraphernalia kicking around, and some old 80s junk. Like if you saw it, you're like, oh man, I forgot about that. He had a whole pile of that stuff. He was pretty impressed with the football jacket. Like, wow, it's in pretty good shape and it still fits. Like, not for long.
Planning to buy my old garbage guy?
Yeah,
you
all
right.
Right. Old jacket, you know. But yeah.
I don't know.
Fun.
I don't know how close you are to your football jacket.
Yeah, no, I don't need it. That's okay.
No. I didn't stay on the football team long enough to get a jacket.
Oh no, they cut you?
Yeah. I was probably terrible, but I also I messed up my knees playing hockey, or my one knee, and then running every day.
Yeah.
It was like just painful constantly. So I was like, well, I can do this, or I can play hockey, and then skating didn't bother. So I figured I'll stop doing this and just play hockey.
Well, football actually really affected me playing hockey, because they drill into you how to hit in football, and they could kind of screwed up how I hit in hockey, because football you got to get square to the guy and hit him, whereas hockey it's all about turning your shoulder
off,
and you can't do that, so it ended up really screwing me up. And when I would go and play hockey after football practice, I'd go and I have a hockey game or something.
And you're wrapping guys up.
Yeah, you're hitting them head on. You're trying to run them into the boards, and you're coming head on, and it didn't really work for me.
Yeah, I did the other way. And I was playing on defense in football, and then running guys down sideways instead of, I guess I was playing safety, so I am supposed to run them down, but
right.
I'm running them down and trying to angle them off instead of just hitting them. Yeah.
For football, you had to just crush them, and then they had all these drills where you're jamming into I don't know what it's called, but it's this like device with 5 or 6 dummies built in, and you have to hit it and then hit it again and move it around the field. And
at my school, they called it a car hood with some stuff welded to it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was
nice.
It was.
You guys had the best.
It was a little budget.
Yeah, nothing like the best for the boys of Kindersley.
Yeah. Well, you can always get a new car hood. There's probably a burnt-out car just sitting down the road, so just go get that one.
Well, that was sort of how it was. So, it really screwed me up for hockey, and it took me a long time to get it out. Because I only played football 1 year in high school, and then, but I kept playing hockey after that, and it took me a long time to sort of figure it out again, like get a good rhythm where you felt comfortable. Because you can really hurt yourself if you hit somebody wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
In both? What position did you play?
At first I was starting slot back, and then I got moved to starting wide receiver. And at the end of the season, I played running back in the playoffs that year. So I played a bunch of stuff.
You wouldn't be hitting that many people, I guess. If you guys messed up, you'd be hitting people.
Well, I was on special teams, so I was on the like we always, as a wideout as a punt on the punting team, you'd be the first one to make contact with the runner.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Sure.
So you'd be hitting guys that way, and on the return team, I was a kick returner, so no, I wasn't hitting guys. And when I played slot back, it's like the Canadian tight end. So they'd play a system where you'd have, because we have the extra man on the field, you'd have 2 tight ends, so you'd have 4 receivers, like 2 wides and 2 inner. But the tight end or the slot back ended up doing a lot of blocking. So that's another thing. If you block, or as a running back or fullback, you'd end up blocking guys and hitting guys, effectively hitting guys. So that's what I did a lot of that. But it was more just the practice drills, not really in game, because we didn't play a ton of games in high school. It was just you practice every single day, and they just drill it into you, the drill, and remember one time a guy, I played hockey with him one year. This guy, his name was Doug. He was the type of guy that would go out of his way to try to hurt people in practice.
Well,
You
that's
know?
team player.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, sure.
total. I don't know if it's a football thing or what, but he'd always go out of his way to do the head-on-head thing.
I think that's a high school
Yeah.
douchebag thing.
Yeah, maybe, but yeah, at one time he rocked me pretty good. I went up. It was a practice drill where the quarterback throws the ball up in the air, and you go up, you catch it, and then you get down, and you have to. The defensive player is supposed to try to come at you to tackle you until you've caught the ball, right? So at least you're on your feet when he's coming at you instead of in the air or something, right? But what this guy did is, as soon as he threw the ball, he ran. And so I literally had my toes had just touched the ground after I caught it, and he hit me head on, and just rung my bell real good. Still remember. Still a little bitter about that. It was a total douchebag move to do.
I'm gonna go find that guy.
Yeah, I gotta go find that guy and burn his house down.
I'm gonna call him a name.
Yeah, I gotta call him.
I'm gonna go tell
You
him.
know what you did, you piece of shit.
I'm gonna go wear my Mike jacket.
Yeah.
You know I'm Mike.
Yeah, you know who I am? Yeah. Go commit a felony wearing a jacket with your name on it. Real smart. Yeah. The cops show up, what's your name? Can't you fucking read? Read this, coppa. Yeah. No. Good old days, the good old days. Speaking of the good old days, maybe we should try to get Joe in on one of these.
Yeah, we should. Well, we should start rounding people up. I told a bunch of people that expect the call at some point in the new year. So hey,
Expect the
we're
call.
we're in one of those New Year's.
Yeah.
So
New
expect
Year's
the call. Yeah, and
Yeah.
people are just like, I said I'd do it, but
I'm only gonna do it once.
yeah, and I forgot that I hate you.
Yeah.
That's me. They love you, but
Yeah.
I'm
They don't even know me. Who? Mike? Who? What?
I'm a bad guy. Well, I want to get Vince and get a couple of them chaps on here at some point.
Yeah, is he in Vancouver now, or where is he?
I think he's in Montreal or Toronto.
I can't keep track of where that guy is.
He's all over the place.
Yeah.
Citizen of the world.
Playa.
Well, he got kicked out of China, so he's got to go everywhere else.
China won't have me.
No, no. He was too bad.
Well, when you lived in China, was there a lot of green card issues? Like, what's it like living in a communist country? I guess you're in Hong Kong. So
Hong Kong. Hong Kong is the unrestrained capitalism.
Yeah, it was like anything goes.
Yeah, you do it.
Your visa's out of date. Here's $50. Your visa's just fine. Carry on.
Yeah, it was a little bit. Be like, this guy's getting kicked out. You guys can stay, but, and then they're giving us a bit of grief for, working semi-illegally, I suppose. Not, it's the standard issue, like all of our stuff was pending, so we're working, but officially we were visiting until our stuff goes through. But that's kind of
Collecting a paycheck.
it's paperwork. Yeah. And and then we had to go.
Think you'd ever go back to visit?
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you work there again, or?
Oh, I doubt it. I don't.
Yeah.
Well, I don't foresee any reason. Not that I couldn't do stuff from there, but it's just not. At this point, I don't know. I won't say definitively, because who knows what the future brings, but
Yeah.
I probably won't work for any company again.
Okay. You can
Ever.
be your own company.
Yep. I'll just do it.
Yeah.
Because why not?
Yeah.
And
All the paperwork can be your problem.
Yeah. There's that. But
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, no, that'll be fine.
You
yeah.
take
I was just wondering,
problems on. You take the.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been to. Well, I guess I was in Hong Kong when I was like an infant, so I guess or 3 years old or something like that. So it doesn't really count. But yeah, I'd like to go there someday just to see it. But
Yeah, I don't know.
the idea, I
Decent
don't
city.
think I'd ever want to work over there.
It's what what struck me as like I understand why people move from Hong Kong and move to Vancouver because it's the same city.
Really?
Like Port City, mountains on one side. You're kind of, you're kind of have more of an island in Hong Kong, but you have an island, you've got a mainland, and you're kind of still separated from everything. The weather is pretty consistent, rainy, but generally kind of the same all the time, and it just kind of feels very similar.
Right.
Other than Vancouver being a little less bustly, like it's not quite as busy. But other than that, like you could see why somebody would feel really comfortable moving from one to the other, because they're very, very similar. I'm sure Seattle is much the same, but I've never been, so I don't know. I got nothing to say. That's as I ain't been anywhere. I've been one place and then I got kicked out. So
You've been to the States.
yeah, I guess
2 places.
I only lived one other place,
Yeah.
and yeah. I guess I didn't technically get kicked out. Vince got kicked out. I like making fun of that.
I think the word is deported.
Well, yeah, it never got to that. It definitely was kicked out, because he could come back.
Yeah.
Just, they're gonna really give him the stink eye. But
you didn't have any problem.
well, other than
Why
I had to
him
go
not
too.
Why did you have to go too?
We all did.
Guilty by association.
Yeah, well, because it was on the same work visas. I'll let him tell that story because it's funnier that way. But
your audio is really getting kind of crappy.
yeah,
Yeah, you've been bopping in and out and getting kind of digital, like pixelated, like
okay.
Not really hearing you. So you might want to look into that one.
Give it a reset, or
I don't know. It doesn't sound like you break in and out.
Yeah.
And then when you're on a cell phone connection, and sometimes the call's dropping. It's kind of got that sort of I'm only getting a few words out of you.
Well, if you just hear long pauses, that's how I talk. So
Yeah. Well, yeah, we know that.
Yep.
We know that here.
Yep.
So.
So how's your?
Yep.
Are you all right?
Yeah, my wife just came down here and scared me.
That's good. Did you pee?
Oh. No, I have to hold the baby so she can eat some cereal.
Fair
So
enough.
You're not going to see any work on my end for the next few minutes.
Well, then I'm going to
and she just
criticize
spilled
it.
water everywhere.
Let's see.
What were you saying, Owen?
Oh, I said then I'm going to unfairly criticize it.
Yeah.
Oh, you got
Well,
Arnold in the mud.
Well, yeah. Might as well. We can talk. We can critique the piece. But yeah, I'm trying to fend off a 8-month-old who's spilling water all over the place. And
These are grabber things.
Yep.
Look at all these cups.
That's all right.
What do you need all these for? My God! Now where are my cupboards are in?
yeah, there you go. When you work from home, you drink lots of coffee.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So that
drinking water
that's
out of a
funny. I don't know if
Wolverine
she
cup.
realizes that type of thing is going to get recorded and go on to YouTube, right?
Yeah, that's going on.
So your wife's an egg. Oh, okay. What?
I did. I said
did I say
nothing, Steph.
Did I say?
thought it was okay. I thought you were in the right.
Yeah, I was good. No, she probably won't even sit through the whole video anyway, so it's all good. But yeah, I don't know. Arnold in the Mud. The next stage for this is, I did Hawkins last time we got together, or 2 times ago. And
Right.
now I'm doing Arnold, and I got to finish Arnold back and some of the foliage around him, and then the airbrushing scene's done. I might go back in and redo Arnold's face, or change it up, and then I'm going to go full Struzen and redraw it all and do all the different tones and variations and try to crisp up the likenesses. But I think the image is starting to, you get a sense of where it's going and where it's at and where it's going to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
At least I don't know. Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all?
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Oh,
Any
I
thoughts
think
on what's working, what's not working?
I think it's looking pretty good. I don't have any major criticism other than the wash gradient in the background, just your sunset, red to orange, is it's maybe a little overpowering. Just the tones are really hot for what's going on in the inside, because you kind of lose, like Arnold shows up really well, but you kind of lose some of the other character faces because their tones are a lot cooler.
Right.
And then you get that kind of pop out effect. So rather than it blending off, it's you're getting that all that outside stuff popping forward a bit.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I think so. So what are you suggesting?
Just like maybe desaturate that a little, or bring down and see if that. Yeah,
It's super saturated. No saturation. Somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, definitely somewhere in the middle. It's like it
It's just a little
it's
too
really
bright.
good. It was just a little too bright, and that could also be I'm getting the signal across sent to me, so who knows how much, how accurate it is really.
Well, I think like the original, like I don't know, I have my thumbnails I can show you here when I was the different comps I was doing.
But when you adjusted it down a little bit, I kind of it seemed a little less harsh, so kind of like that. And who knows what it'll look like if you print it too? Like your oranges tend to show up a lot better than some things, but
Yeah, I don't know, once I go to print, who knows how it's gonna turn out, right? So I'm opening a file here. You can see some of the different comps that I was working on that were my different versions of ideas. So here we go. Well,
I do like the red on the outline. That's working.
Yeah, that's totally straight from the original movie poster, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to do some homages to what that was, right? So just get all these windows out of the way. So anyways, here's a couple of rough or different color schemes that I had in mind when I first started to work on this, and I settled on this one here, I think. Right. So the border was, I talked to different people and got some opinions, and that was the one that people liked the most. I kind of liked the white one, or the tan one, because I like the silhouette.
Right. I was gonna say I like that. I like the one with the white and where it pops out.
Yeah.
And I like the bottom right hand corner where there's no color in the Predator's dreads there, where it just kind of fades into negative. I know that's just not filled in, but I like how that looks. Where the whole thing goes to where you're only seeing positive, negative space, nothing.
Yeah. Well, I ended up going with the one that we're doing now. But I'm not gonna. I could use the logo or not to, if I wanted to do that, and that would be copyright. So I guess I couldn't. But if I wanted to make a fan art version, that's what it was doing. I kind of wanted to keep it. One of the also reasons why I went that way was it's closer to what the movie poster looked like.
Right.
Because the original movie poster was, a black border with a pixelated Arnold in the middle, and then the Predator logos, and it had that red border around the picture frame.
Right.
So that's why I went. That's why I got the red border in here, right?
Yeah.
So I'm basically doing a lot of homages to the original poster, and that's where I'm going with it. And it also kind of tightens it all off and cleans. So you got that 80s sort of vibe, but we'll see how it turns out. I'm optimistic that it's going to look okay.
I think it's good. It seems nicely balanced. It's just the tone seemed to. It just really jumps out at me, and again, that might be because I'm seeing it. Like, I'm not seeing it on your screen, so I'm getting whatever
it's pretty
triple
hot.
filtered version.
Well, you've got the contrast between the heat and the cool, right?
Yeah.
The Predator's cold, the jungle insertion at night. They're all wearing army fatigues, right?
Right.
But it's so hot. Like when I watch the movie, I think about it, and I was in Puerto Vallarta.
That's a sweaty movie.
Yeah, it's sweaty, it's hot, it's like brutally hot. I kind of want to give that sense of heat and all the different elements like tension and heat and stuff like that.
Heat. You want heat?
I want heat. Sweaty, muscly men.
That's red. How about red heat?
Yeah, red heat.
No, that's a different
I
Arnold
haven't
movie.
seen that movie, Or
What,
if
Red
I
Heat?
have, it's been such a long time.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's so bad it's good.
I don't know. I remember it being watchable, but I was also an idiot. So
Well, you know what movie I was watching the other day? It was Enter the Ninja. You remember that one?
okay, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's bad.
And Enter the Ninja's the one where I started to think about throwing stars in the head.
Yeah. No, that was Revenge of the Ninja.
Was it?
Yeah,
Oh,
Revenge of the Ninjas
you're
were
right. We watched all of them. So
Yeah. Well, there's the Ninja trilogy. I've seen
American Ninja.
No, there's the Ninja trilogy. If you're in the Ninja movies, there was Enter the Ninja, Revenge of the Ninja, and then the other one was Ninja. It's the one where there's a woman who's sort of like there's a. If you remember, you gotta put yourself back in the 1980s and go to the video store. And you walk through the action section, and there's that cover where there's a woman with big 80s hair, and she's wearing like a red ninja outfit or a magenta ninja outfit, and it's like Ninja Destiny or Ninja, and then behind her there's the evil ninja. So the premise of that story is she is possessed by an evil ninja spirit, and then she has to fight it out with Shogazuki or I don't know.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember that one. Revenge of the Ninja is the one that I've seen like 50 times. I love that movie. And Enter the Ninja was the very first one that he did, and it's bad.
Yeah.
Like, the hero is this. He's supposed to be like a Rhodesian South Africa veteran, and he has this. He goes to help his buddy out in the Philippines. They're getting muscled out by some gangsters, and it's just super cheese. It's not even that good, the action stuff, but it's like that 80s action where they're just trying to wrap their head around how to make an action movie, like that schlocky action. Like it was one of the first ones, and it spawned like a ton of sequels. They made a ton of ninja movies off of that. But another really good one is Pray for Death.
Yes.
And that inspired the Shredder costume for the Ninja Turtles.
I know that one.
Yeah. That was awesome. A ninja with a helmet is so cool. It's like, why didn't I think of that?
But did you ever encounter that where you're I'm watching all these, constantly watch every ninja samurai movie and then you see the throwing star in the head and then think, but it's only like a little 2.5 inch long knife and you got a skull under there, right? So that's just gonna hurt a lot. Like there
It's
should be
not
all
gonna
these
kill.
there should be all these henchmen just going ah.
Yeah. Well, if you watch Revenge of the Ninja, like the one that kills the hero's son, like the ninja star embeds in his skull.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like it goes in, like 4 inches, or not 4 inches, but like enough that it's definitely punctured the cranium. If you look at, like they just took a ninja star, cut it in half, and then you glued it to his head. It's like, wow, you know how hard you'd have to throw a ninja star to do that?
It'd be ridiculous.
Yeah.
It'd just be a whole bunch of people going.
You have to have like compressed air or something behind like a pneumatic gun or something, going bam, shooting ninja stars. But
there you go. That's your movie.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
I remember getting a ninja magazine back in the day that had instructions on how to properly throw a ninja star. And I remember being in my backyard with like the plastic ninja star that every kid had with that ninja sword they would buy. And I remember throwing it at my fence, trying to do it right, get the technique just so. Like the overhand technique and the sidearm technique, and I remember building ninja stars, and you could cut one out with like some tin snips out of like a soup can lid. All that fun stuff, right?
Little did you know you could just trim off the soup can lid, and that's it's already like razor sharp. So.
Yeah, there's my ninja star. But we I love that stuff. And you historically, like shuriken were never really used for killing people. They were just used to distract or hurt someone. Like you said, throw it in his eye.
Yeah.
Then he's gonna he's not gonna want to fight anymore, run away, or you hit him in the leg. It's just gonna hurt him, slow him down, right?
Yeah. Well, it's annoying.
You've just annoyed me. Yeah.
That's the next. Annoying
so
ninja.
Yeah. So what are you doing right now?
Put some back legs on this.
His body
Chubby
is
looking.
huge compared to his head.
Yep.
His body is huge compared to his head.
Yep.
Okay. It looks
Weird.
like yeah.
Yep.
Definitely looks weird. Is that what you're going for?
Well, I'm going for too much, and then kind of bring it back, right?
Okay.
So like better to overdo it, because I can always just scale a bit and select out an area and scale it in. Better to overdo and then see how far to push it.
Well, I like the little goatee you gave him there, but I would really prefer it if you gave him a Pai Mei goatee.
Well,
he's got to have the mustache and the goatee.
that can happen. In fact, that's got to happen.
Yeah, it's just got to happen now. But like I was saying before, I'd like to see you, try to do a photorealistic version of a face, like 3D.
Okay,
I'd like to see that. That'd
maybe
be cool.
maybe I'll get on that for start on that for the next one. Or
yeah, I'm always impressed by that, and sometimes I'll go on CG Hub and you can see guys who they'll do like a lifelike version of Anne Hathaway or some other actor or actress, and sometimes it's really impressive what they come up with, and other times it's like, wow, that's terrible. But the skill, I think it's really cool, these 3D models that people build.
yeah, some of them are really nice.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'd like to see a 3D, like a real and you were saying you haven't updated your portfolio. That would be something that when you do a 3D model of a celebrity that looks just like them, then everyone, like even in my trade, if you could do portraits that look just like the actor, you're in there. People respond to that.
Oh, I should give it a go. I went looking for that other one. Was based on what's his name, hockey player.
Igor Larionov. Yeah,
and I can't find it. I know I've got it here. I probably put it in archive, and so it's like
I've never seen the finished version, so
yeah, I can't find that. I couldn't find the file, so it's probably on my other drive, which is not.
Well,
connected.
maybe first I'd like to see you do. I know here I'm giving you assignments.
Yeah,
first
sure.
I'd like to see you do like a person, like someone recognizable, And then second, maybe we could do something like a collaborative piece. Like you could turn one of my drawings into something, or that'd be kind of cool too.
Sure. Well, yeah. Maybe I'll maybe I can start on that, and I'll do it as just an ongoing because then then I can give kind of a here's how I did that, and here's here's how to do this, here's how not to do this, and here's how to fix it when you do it wrong.
Well, I'd like to learn how to do it and see how you do it, and then you texture it, and do all that great stuff. She's
Sounds like you're. Yeah.
Steph's cereal's taking longer than we thought.
No, it's fine. No, it sounds like you're good. You've got your hands full.
Yeah, that's why I'm watching you work, because my she's none too happy.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll let you deal with her if you're.
We can call her if you want. We've been talking for an hour, so
that's probably good.
Not too bad. It's been good, but I wish I got more done. This type of stuff just takes lots of time.
Yeah.
But if I get an hour in every once in a while, I should be able to get it done sooner.
Right.
Sooner or later. Maybe I'll get an accurate idea about how much time I put into this, because we have so many recorded sessions of it.
There's a bit of a dragon stash. It's not.
Yeah,
there's a lot of correcting need to be done in there, but
yeah, he looks way more badass. You should call this guy Billy D. There goes Billy D.
Here's the thing. I'll leave you on this one. So
okay.
At the end of Empire.
Yeah.
There's sort of a weird thing people have brought up where Lando gets in the Falcon, and they show him, and he's wearing clothes that look like hands.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this has any intention, or there's anything about this, but I thought this should be the story for that.
Yeah.
That he's not wearing Han's clothes. He's wearing his smuggler clothes. And Han thought, he was the coolest, right? So Han followed him around. Han's dressing like Lando.
Well, what about when he won the Falcon off of Lando? He won the Falcon with all of Lando's clothes.
He's just
when Lando, got back in the Falcon, he got a trunk of his old clothes there.
Like, guy, you've been wearing my clothes all this time.
And it's funny, maybe Han, that's the only set of clothes he owns. Maybe he's just got a closet full of, black vests and black boots and white shirts.
And they were all Lando's old clothes.
Yeah, Lando's like, all the stuff I have here is, this stuff that I wore at Cloud City, and now I'm a refugee, so I guess I'm just going to have to wear Han's clothes.
And he's like, well, I was trying to bring capes back, and that wasn't working, so...
Funny, I was speaking of Star Wars, because there's a lot of internet stuff going on now with the new movie coming out. And they built a scale version of the Falcon.
Right.
And there was a picture of it on one of these websites. And wow, it looks pretty cool. They built it.
I haven't.
You can run around in it, and it's fully they built the whole thing, 1-to-1 scale.
Oh, I haven't actually seen it. I've heard the thing, and I just haven't.
Maybe they'll actually. I haven't seen inside of it, but maybe they'll actually. Wouldn't that be cool to see some rooms that we've never seen, and go see the.
Where's the John? And,
the John.
And where's the huge hair declogger for getting out?
Yeah, for the Wookiee.
Because that drain's got to be the worst drain in the galaxy.
Yeah. Maybe he just doesn't bathe. Maybe he's one of those things. He's got lanolin in his fur.
He's just got a really wicked long tongue.
Yeah. Oh, nasty. If you have allergies, the dander would be terrible. But, no, they did that, and then I went to some Robot Chicken, and there was a Robot Chicken episodes with Boba Fett. Have you ever seen any of those?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you gotta check Robot Chicken Boba Fett, because they play him up as there's one scene where when he gets thrown into the Sarlacc pit, but he's super drunk when it happens, he was drinking when the whole thing went down.
Well, that would make sense.
Yeah, that's why he got his butt handed to him, because he was totally plastered. And then then they show him in the Sarlacc, daydreaming, and he gets up there and he kills everybody, like Luke and all those guys, and just his character, he's like, whoa, and he grabs Han Solo and flies to Hoth and feeds them to Tauntauns, and they tear him apart, and it's just too funny. Just they characterize Boba Fett as just such a badass. You know, like, oh, here we go, Boba Fett. Oh, I got not one lightsaber, I got two. Here we go, and he just, you know, he's just destroying everybody. It's funny. You gotta wow. Those robot
I'll check
chicken
that
guys.
out.
I don't think I've seen a bad one. They're all pretty funny. Even Mia agrees.
They're pretty good.
Yeah. All right. Well,
All right.
I think I'm gonna sign off here.
All right.
So first I gotta remember how to stop.